Here we are in Camtasia working on 11 or 12 seconds of B-roll to go along with some e-commerce content. Here's the voiceover that we are matching the B-roll with.
42% of Americans report daily use of the internet. 21% report almost constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones in use.
So that's what we're working with, and I have made some graphics based on stock. These are some silhouettes, and we're going to see how they look. So we got these folks on the internet, right? %, they said. So we'll have this enter from the right, maybe. Transitions. Visual properties, rather. And we're going to do a 10 frame animation. That's 1/3 of a second. Add the animation. Zoom in. So this is where they're going to stop. And we want them to start back here. Back them up.
42% of Americans report daily use of the internet.
42% daily use. So we need to add a graphic, or rather some text. 42% daily use. And maybe we do that. Maybe we do that. Maybe we do that. Maybe we do that. I think we want the number to be bigger, so we'll have daily use be smaller. 48. Right? Do we write daily use, or do we write daily use of internet?
%42 of Americans report daily use of the internet.
I think we'll put daily use of internet. Okay. That's going to be white. So I get in there, select all, and choose white. It's kind of nice, right?
42%.
I feel like these guys might need to be a little higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
42%.
And we'll move this one up a little more. Yeah, looks good. Let's have them, the numbers and letters, swish in from the other side. So we go to Visual Properties, select it, go to where we want the animation to end, which is 10 frames. Add animation. And then we go back and choose its beginning point.
%42 of Americans report daily use of the internet.
All right, so that's done. Now we're gonna have her arm come up. Oh, that's a mistake, because her arm is supposed to be down, because we want her arm to come up when they mention constant use. So we're gonna have to redo that graphic. That was my bad. So I'm gonna go into Photoshop and grab that graphic and BRB. All right, I made a version of that graphic with her arm down. So I'm gonna import it into the clipboard, bring it down to the timeline, and now we're going to match it up to where the other one is. So if we go to visual properties, you can see that the scale is 22, and then we can kind of just eyeball it back up to be with their twins here. Something like that. And then get rid of this one, bring this one here, 10 frames in, add animation, go back. Oh, I erased the wrong thing. Erase them. 10 frames in, add an animation, go back to frame 0, and have them go off screen. That's not the right one. Come on. Use the right one, mate. It's this one. 22% in size. Now we lost where they were, but we can eyeball that. We like it. We like it. We like it like that. We like that. Yeah. And once again, 10 frames in. Add animation. Scroll back. Frame 0. There they are. 42% of Americans show daily use of the internet.
42% of Americans report daily use of the internet. 21%.
And then she's gonna have her arm show. Now this is where we get clever. Clip in, arm, bring it in. That's too big. 22% we said, yeah. Visual properties, 22. And now, note how this is framed. Yeah, I framed this way so that the middle was right on the shoulder, because that's going to be the pivot point, right? When we want her to move it from the shoulder. So that's why it's framed funny like that. But when we bring it over here and kind of put it where her arm would be, now we have the ability for her to bring it up, and it looks funny. It looks good, right? Right? Bring it to there. So we're gonna hide it down here. And we're gonna have to cover that up in a minute. So maybe 20 frames, she pulls it up. Ends at 5. Starts at 5, so we'll try it at 20, add an animation. And then we rotate this up.
Use of the internet. 21% report almost constant access.
That's funny. That's good. I love it. Okay. So we need to bring in the text. So first this text has to run away. We want 10 frames. So now it's here, and we're going to have it keep moving down the lane. And at the very same time, a new bit of text will come up. We'll just copy what we have, bring it over here, line it up, and what was the statistic?
21% report almost constant access.
21%. Change that to 21. probably will do almost constant access. Yeah, and now we go back and watch it.
42% of Americans report daily use of the internet. 21% report almost constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones in use.
That's funny, I love it. Okay. We need to cover that bit of her arm that shows up. And the best way to do that is to make a square that's the same color as the background. So here we have a big old square. That's the background. Let's make a new square. Same color, just for illustration purposes. Let's make it green. And we come over here. Where does that arm? The arm shows up right there. So we want to cover that up with precision, right? And once it's up, we'll just keep it there the whole time. Change the color to, what have I done? Oh, it's the fill. And watch it now.
21% report almost constant access. There are 5 billion.
This needs to go away faster.
Access. There are 5 billion.
So you see here how this ends a little bit too far in. Let's catch that. Now what's going to happen is we're going to have a phone leap out of her hand. And just as she fades out, and the phone will then fly at the screen, and more phones will join it for the next stat about phones. 5 billion mobile phones in use. So let's get the text in. Yeah, is that going at the same time? Just about 10 frames. 10 frames per change. Okay.
There are 5 billion mobile.
Constant. That's spelled wrong.
There are 5 billion mobile phones in
5 billion mobile phones. Replace that. 5 billion. Oopsie.
There are 5.
So when that shows up,
There are 5.
her phone needs to leap out of her hand. Let's bring in the phone I created. Into the clip band. So we want that phone to zoom out of the woman's hand, right? So let's get it in there. Gonna try to make it the same size. And then use trickery to get it to turn. Yeah. So if we go to visual properties, we start playing with these. Y11. See how it turns? That's about it. Just has to be close. And we can sneak it on top here. And it'll fly out right as she fades out.
%, report almost constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones.
Okay, that's gonna come out like maybe 15 or 20 frames. Maybe something like that, right? So we get an animation. And where do we want it to end up? In the middle. Back to normal. 0 on this, 0 on that, 0 on that. And what size? Because we're going to line up a bunch of phones with it. Maybe if it was this big, then we could have like another one up here. If it was right here. I don't know, maybe it just needs to be a little bigger. That's cool, then we can have more phones around it. Okay. See it fly? It's so fun.
There are 5 billion mobile. There are 5 billion. There are 5 billion.
So she needs to fade out. That needs to come out faster. 15 frames.
There are 5 billion.
She needs to fade out. Probably before that. 10 frames. And they're just gonna do a classic fade out. We don't need to do an animation for that. We can use a transition. Fade out, 10 frames.
There are 5.
But her arm stayed there. How grotesque. Fade it again. She needs to fade out too.
There are 5.
Huh.
There are 5.
And have the phone be standing there as it fades out.
There are 5. Constant.
Okay, let's try that.
42% of Americans report daily use of the internet. 21% report almost constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones in use. There are
Maybe if that faded in, it wouldn't look as dodgy.
constant access. There are 5 access. There are 5. 21% report almost constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones.
I think that works. As long as it happens fast.
42% of Americans report daily use of the internet. 21% report almost constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones in use. There are yeah, I like it. So that's add a bunch of phones now at this point. So it shows up. Copy you, paste you, take off that. What? Oh. So that phone can go like right there, yeah. Then we grab another one, scooch it over. Okay, and another goes off screen, which implies that they just keep going and going. Right, now we can copy 3, 4 at a time, 3 at a time. Copy you, paste you. Well, I only grabbed one. Did it? Go back, go back. Copy 3, Control C, Control V. Okay. Now we can move these friends over here. Yeah. And then we take all of you, copy you, paste you. No, all of you. Copy, paste, line it up. And up they go. One more. They don't cost you anything, these new layers, so just use them. Oh, okay. Constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones in use. There are 30 billion pieces of content. So we're gonna fade that out. There's fade you out. First we get rid of you, chop them up, and then if I select all these, will it put the fade on all of them? Kind of don't think so, but we try it. Oh. So can we copy that effect? Paste it? No. So we do it one at a time. Methodically. Suppose I could have grouped them and then made a fade. But we're in it now. We're in it. After this, we're going to put the next bit of B-roll is going to be a bit of Facebook, some data about Facebook. So I prepared a graphic for that. Alright, let's watch it. 42% of Americans report daily use of the internet. 21% report almost constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones in use. There are 30 billion people.
Where did that come from?
There are 5 billion mobile phones. There are 5 billion mobile phones. There are 5.
So I don't love that fade between the two phones. See, it's just not quite right. Do we just need to line it up better? Yeah, I feel like it could be better. So let's just try that. Let's try to get it more exact on the corners. Maybe. Is that better? We could spend all day doing this. We probably shouldn't. So let's make the fade faster. And hopefully it'll be more like a jump cut. Or I can make a graphic with her not holding a phone anymore. Yeah. So we didn't have to deal with the two phones at the same time issue, but let's just try that.
Instant access. There are 5.
That's good.
Access. There are 5 billion.
That looks much better, honestly.
Constant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones in use. There are 30.
I think it'd be cute if the phones showed up more than all at the same time. Like, they just suddenly show up.
There are 5 billion mobile phones.
Not 30 billion mobile phones. Goodness, that's a mistake. 5.
There are 5 billion.
So we're gonna have these phones pop up whenever they feel like it. You pop up there. You pop up there. You pop up here. You pop up here. You pop up there. You pop up there. You pop up here. You pop up here. You can be there. Maybe here. Maybe you go there. It's random. That's what we're doing. Randomizing them.
Instant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones.
I like that.
Access. There are 5 billion mobile phones. Instant access. There are 5 billion mobile phones in use.
Nice. All right, what a bit of B-roll we made. Nice motion to it, tells a story. Hope this is helpful. We'll see you around.